If you gotta hustle, but you can't stick to the grind, you wasting your time. I need a double a verse. I do it for FaceTime before I get to the club. Look at the line. Money ain't changed my heart, but I'm smarter. I guess it changed my mind. And I take care of my in prison. Don't think it's safe inside. I got that checking to go. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. Now Jones. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now Jameis on second down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Hey, sub. Let's go. Ready to go.
On third down, Winston. This is caught by Jackson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. First down, Winston. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. Second and goal. Jameis again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They Bucs last week, they had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them in a sense and gotten the ball from them.
And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, to me, that's taking a big gamble defensively because that alignment you see, that's normally something you see down near the goal line. Because now, if they decide to go play action, something should be open there, and I think open big.
So maybe that's something that gets filed away for later.
I think without a doubt, you write it down, and if you see that look at a later date, go ahead and take your shot.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. T.J. Watt. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
4 down, check.
Jameis to throw it. And the pressure gets to him again. The former Buckeye, Cameron Hayward. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and very long.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
A short gain there of just 4, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Roethlisberger goes underneath for Bell. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It's a gain of 5 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Noah Spence coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Jackson. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Jackson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Over the middle to Evans. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A familiar ring to that one. Winston to Evans for the Buccaneer first. Winston now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Now Winston. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Again, it's Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He'll hit Jackson complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Hard throw, incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. With it is Jackson. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their own 16. Working out of the gun, Winston. Evans has it left side. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout.
150. Hey, sub. Let's go.
Winston now to throw on first down. He's going to let this go deep. And this throw will be intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
After the interception, here's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. That's going to be caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Antonio Brown, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers are able to strike for 6. And he'll bang that one through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
15 yards through the air and a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Evans. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
Hey, 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Jameis now on first down. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Green, triple C. Hey, sub. Let's go.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Steelers set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Here's Roethlisberger going up top. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain. I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at about the 32. Throwing, Winston. Steps away to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Javon Hargrave. Able to run him down for a loss of a yard. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Ready. Black 25.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. Drops it to Jones in the flat. He showed off a nice juke of the defender, but the next wave there to bring him down. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 3rd down. Now Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Now Brown. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And McDonald here over the middle. And taking it across midfield. Inside the 45. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. This is Bell on the dump-off. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a 2nd down. Here's Roethlisberger. Now been hit, and he lost the football. It's loose, and the Buccaneers have it.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Black 22's hot. Here we go. Hey. Mike 50.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
Second down, Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. On 3rd down, Winston. Forced out to his, and he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Stephon Tuitt able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Washington with the catch, middle of the field. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10.
Jack 16.
They'll throw on 1st down with Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. Back now in Tampa. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some... And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big play. Roethlisberger to Brown. And even 40 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger on 1st down. And this is incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless. So, statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. They'll give it to him up the middle. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
On 3rd and goal, Roethlisberger. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. As his guys are in for 6, and the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Jameis on second down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
Hey, sub.
Third and long for Winston. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Stephon Tuitt in there to get him again. The third time he sacked him here tonight. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. With it is Brown. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. Now the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And the Steelers on third down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now Roethlisberger, and he finds McDonald. You give him 5 yards there, and it's enough for the first.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll find his way down right around the 12. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Let's go! 8. Quarter.
Roethlisberger to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 35, and he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we bid you good night from Tampa.